So in short, what I think that the underlying cause of all of those things is that the diaphragm gets stuck and basically is not able to move in its full normal range of motion, which the diaphragm is basically our most primal, our most basic, our most fundamental movement pattern in our body. Aside from how we move, how we stand and lift things and these like basic aspects of posture, actually the movement of our diaphragm is the fundamental, most important thing. And I think because what happens through people having stress, emotional stress, mental stress, physical stress, that basically becomes unresolved and starts to build up in the body. This causes the diaphragm to kind of grip and kind of distort, not really move through its full range, which that means all of the other organs in our body which are attached to the diaphragm are then not able to move and go through their full range, which then what that means is the fluid flows of all of those organs are not able to move as efficiently as they can. So what happens? Decreased movement, decreased efficiency means more stagnation, means more waste buildup, means less peristalsis, means less fluid circulations in the body. And this, I think, is the major underlying factor for a lot of things. And I think quite a lot of the time, people have these kinds of digestive issues. It's very often going together with a mental, emotional thing. And the diaphragm and our breathing and the overall motility and mobility of the diaphragm is so interrelated with our mentality. And then that even also can interconnect with the way our psoas and diaphragm are interrelated, and then how those things are profoundly interrelated with our stress response and our overall structure of our body. So you can see this a lot in people's postures, in the way people's bodies are literally structured, the way they're held together, the way people hold themselves. You see people very often pulled into these distorted patterns, and they then get all this neck tension and shoulder tension, and all of this whole area up here gets kind of locked and frozen. The ribs get locked and frozen, and this whole upper area just kind of becomes one concrete block. And I challenge you, look at your own movement patterns. Go out in public, look at people walking, and you'll see people just kind of like just frozen, and or this area is completely like sunken in or completely like pushed out or some weird thing. And it's, I think, very oftentimes coming from organs being out of whack, usually because of the diaphragm, and then this whole kind of chain of causation that I'm trying to describe. The other thing is that within Chinese medicine, there's a big correlation, an interrelationship between the diaphragm and the liver system. Now, within Chinese medicine, when I say liver system, I don't just mean the physiological functions of the actual liver organ. It's a whole wide set of things relating to our psychology, our emotional experience, different tissue qualities in our body, in addition to the actual, of course, physiological metabolic functions of the liver, which are a lot. The liver does quite a lot, and it's really the big mover in the body in terms of all the fluid secretions from the liver and the gallbladder, and how that really is a major driver for our digestive functionality. Then as it relates to, food allergies and these many different things, that is very oftentimes occurring because the liver itself is inflamed and backed up, so it can't really deal with or process things, which is really creating a whole kind of game of whack-a-mole. So basically, to solve and resolve a lot of these things, getting the diaphragm actually moving and getting rid of the tension from that area, and then basically having a knock-on effect for the liver and the gallbladder actually being able to function more appropriately and more like they should, which then secrete everything that needs to secrete to keep things moving through our digestive system. If things actually are moving through our digestive system, then things like candida and gas bloating, SIBO, food allergies, all these other things tend to go away because they're side effects and symptomologies of a deeper underlying thing, which is some kind of stagnation that the body is really unable to deal with. So hopefully that makes sense and has provided a more useful framework and mechanic for you to hopefully explore if you do have those issues, rather than trying to just jump around with a million different supplements and herbs and diets. And again, this complicated whack-a-mole thing, which is a huge industry that a lot of practitioners make a lot of money off of course. But I think in reality, what I've seen for myself, what I've seen for a lot of people, and just basic mechanics of understanding how the body works and how these things interrelate with our psychology, our emotion, and our physiology, it really makes quite a lot of sense. And I've seen it just in my own life as my diaphragm started to release and relax and my breathing improved. The whole structure of my rib cage changed. All my like neck and shoulder pain went away, and really my entire structure of my physiology kind of regulated, and my posture naturally improved, as well as psychology, emotional stability, all these other things started to change. Because a lot of times people think they have all these psycho, mental, emotional things, when oftentimes it's just kind of gut inflammation and indigestion. And then even a lot of the times while people have sleep issues, insomnia or waking up in the middle of the night, it's indigestion the vast majority of the time.